What's up, YouTube? What's up, Sarge? What's up, everybody? Sarge, I watched your video, Why We Have a Problem. And I'm in complete agreement with everything you have to say. It's unfortunate because, we have similar upbringings. But oftentimes, a lot of what we have to say gets discredited, okay? But a lot of the time they don't understand that we're only one generation behind the struggle. Okay, you talked about how your parents grew up, and how they had to how they made it out of their situation. My parents came over, the late 70s, from Nigeria, struggling, living in LA. I could still drive through all the old places we used to live. We didn't make it to the suburbs till I was 6 or 7. So we have a lot to say, but oftentimes it never gets, recepted, or, and people are close-minded to what's going on. And in terms of your video, I can't disagree with you in regards to there's no other choice. Really, at this point, I understand that there's people who will be successful, okay, who don't need to go to college, but oftentimes people never look at what's going on, okay? They don't understand that it's different when you have people who can support your dreams, okay? I have an uncle who will help me out, or, I can use my uncle's truck, or, my uncle has a warehouse he doesn't use. There's a lot of, all these little, from rags to riches stories that people always love to hear in terms of, oh, he didn't have to go to college. No one ever looks into the nitty-gritty, okay? The most famous one is your typical NBA stars, Allen Iverson, LeBron James. They're the poster child for, look at what a single black mother can do, but no one ever talks about how LeBron James probably spent more time with black men in terms of coaches than he did at home, okay? Playing travel ball, doing this, doing that. So he's definitely around, black men and just mature men since the boy was probably 5 years old. The second they figured out, he can dribble a basketball with his left and right, they was on him, mentoring him, making sure he got to school, yada, yada, yada. Okay, we all saw He Got Game with Ray Allen. Okay, breaking him off money here and there, making sure that things was good. LeBron James couldn't go to college if he wanted to. He couldn't step foot on the college after all the shit he already took, right? So once again, it's one of those sob stories that people don't want to go into the nitty gritty. Growing up, especially in high school, I met people, obviously now, who are successful and didn't have to go to school, but people don't want to understand that they got hooked up with a job. All my white boyfriends who didn't go to school just went to go work for their dad or their uncle. So the dad is a plumber, or the dad is a contractor, and they just go work for the dad, making money. So a lot of these dudes that didn't go to school, they're buying homes. Plus, mommy and daddy got the down pay, the deposit for the house. You know what I mean? And the wife, her side of the family, putting some money in. She didn't go to college either. All she does is she manages the couple of IHOPs that the dad owns. Did they go to school? No. Okay. Y'all know I'm from Cali. Go to LA. Okay. The whole Westwood, Beverly Hills area, and you see a whole bunch of young people, just nice cars, nicely dressed. None of them go to college. You would swear that these are the most educated people. Nah, not really. Okay. And they would have nice jobs, but in reality they're working for their dad, okay, or their uncle hooked them up, right? That kind of stuff we don't have. Quite frankly, we don't have. So yeah, you may hear a couple of people who didn't have to go to school who are doing extremely well, but once again, you don't know the type of support that they had. Okay, I had an Indian friend who pretty much went to school just for the piece of paper. His parents owned a couple of laundromats, a couple of subways, I believe, and some other small shit here and there. But it was enough small shit to the point where it really added up. And all he was gonna do was manage their shit. They were older, foreign parents. They come over here, work hard. They typically get established late, have kids late. So his parents were up there, right? So pretty much he was just running the family business, right? But he went to school pretty much to have fun because he already had something waiting for him. And these are the stories we never hear. You'll see somebody, he didn't go to college and he's successful, but they don't want to ask him or her what was going on with them, right? And of course, as black people, we don't have that shit. I'm gonna be real, we don't have that shit. You know it better than I know. We don't have that shit. I laugh because we come from similar backgrounds where people act as if we have it and it's just easy. And I don't know how you are with your father, but I always get on my father, not get on him, but ask him, how come y'all couldn't come together, right? Because you had the beginnings of black people doing well in the 80s and the 90s, but how come they didn't come together? How come my dad and my uncles didn't really come together and run something to the point where now we could just get that job, right? In terms of I'm gonna go work for my father's business, right? We don't have it. And people don't see this. Even if you're a black person and you do come from money or your parents did well, we don't have that hookup. People also want to act as if, Willie Pete, you came from money, or Pink Elephant, you came from money, so it's automatic. Nothing is automatic. I could be broke. I could still be homeless. That's scary. I can still be homeless. Right? Yeah, my parents did okay, but it's not enough, right? To maintain some standard of living for myself. No. Right? It's one of those things where they spot you on the bench, but if you can't carry it, they can't help you, right? So you got to do at least 95% of the lifting, but in terms of anything less than that, they really can't spot you. We don't have that. We don't have those hookups. So in reality, man, we don't have any sort of alternative whatsoever. We don't. Especially in terms of how the black community thinks. We have this bad habit of parents thinking that I take care of my black child, and when I get older, my children take care of me. That's a cycle. No. You take care of your child, okay, obviously because you've done your work so that you're taking care of yourself. That child does well. He has his kids. And the same thing happens. So you're always moving forward. There's no cycle. But in the black community, it's one big ass cycle. Mommy and daddy raise a kid, right? Or mommy raises a kid. Kid does well. Now the kid has to take care of mommy and daddy. It's a cycle. And a lot of people don't see that bullshit, right? I remember when my boy got his car in high school, I went with him. And, his dad was like, here's your graduation gift. And he was like, Dad, I'm going to pay you back. And he was like, no, you don't have to. I worked so I could do this for you. You shouldn't have to take care of me. The day you have to take care of me, I will feel like the biggest failure. And that shit hit so deep. That was one of the deepest shit I ever heard, man. Like, I did well so you don't have to take care of me. But in the black community, we don't see that. It's this whole idea that, parents take care of you, you take care of them. No. It's one of those things that prohibits black people from being successful. It prohibits us from ever building something. Because some parents feel like it's just enough. Let me do just enough. Then when he gets old enough, he's going to support me. It doesn't work that way. So in closing, for a lot of brothers who I understand don't necessarily come from that support like I did, or even something that Willie Pete came from, you have to understand that you have to break that cycle. If that means you have to cut away from your parents or your family, you need to do so. That's the only way you're going to break the cycle and actually do something new. Real talk. I'm not trying to, be extreme, but it's something that needs to happen. Okay? It's the only way people is ever going to move on. In terms of breaking the bad habit. It's a bad habit. There's no other way. There's no way to modify it. You just have to break it, literally. I want to see more black men just say, yo, I'm going to do me. Break away from my family and do what I have to do. Because literally, it's a cycle. You're not going to get out of it. It's a cycle where you can never get ahead and you can never pass anything on because you're worrying about somebody behind you. You should be worrying about moving forward at all times. Now, people will say, how can it get done? It's not easy, but it can be done. And I'll probably make a part 2 in terms of, okay, if I'm a young black man and I want to break free and, break this curse in terms of getting well and doing well, how can that be done? Now that I'm a little bit older, I can see it, right? You can see what was done and how you can, maneuver yourself. So, we'll talk about it, but, hopefully you guys, hear me, and, put your thoughts into it. Y'all be easy. God bless.